Ho, ho, ho.
We're losing! Teamwork, guys, more teamwork. They're burying us alive!
Well, shit.
Jeez, Louie.
Honey, don't you want to beat those bastards? In my book, we're gonna be winners.
What's the matter? You got nothing left for you to sign? Because you're training like a damn bum, you know that?
Screw them.
What are you doing? What are people doing?
Is this early access to?
Hey, let me tell you something, bro.
Get out there now and do the best you can.
All right, welcome. Episode 145, the Bad Fodder Figures podcast, our pre-Christmas, pre-Happy Holidays episode. What's going on, gentlemen? We have Matt, and we have Eric, and we have myself here, and we're feeling good. We're feeling festive. Look at Matt. Everybody just take that in for a second there. Look at that. Make your bells jingle, jingle, jangle. Now, does that bring the cat? Does that bring the cats? Do the cats come a calling when you do that? Is that like a?
I don't know. They might be upstairs where it's a little bit warmer. I have no fire this week, so.
Uh-oh, no fire.
No fire to them.
Got no wood.
I'm not going to tell you what the Epic Game Store game. I think I'm going to retire that segment only because I think by now you know there's a free game, but they're doing like 17 or 18 days of Christmas or something like that now. Yeah. And I'm not going to list all these fucking games that are coming out, so maybe I'll just call it out when I think there's something good. But definitely I call your attention to the store right now, and one free game every day for like the next 18 days or something like that. So that
if you want, if you want free games, they're out there between Game Pass, Epic Game Store, Amazon, Twitch, whatever.
Not at Steam, though. Not at Steam.
No, not Steam. No, not Steam.
You might need to move that closer to your mouth, Matt. You're sounding a little distant.
Sorry.
There you go.
Sorry.
We need the full effect.
The full Matt.
Yes. So, happy holidays, guys. What's going on this week? And is Santa bringing you something good under the tree this week? This week. Friday, right? It's Friday.
Friday. Santa Claus, he's coming up fast, man.
He is.
He's checking his list right now. I think he's making sure us three are on the nice list.
Well, I'm always on the nice list, Matt. What are you talking about?
Matt, you already picked out your Christmas gift, didn't you?
Quite a few, but yes.
Quite a few?
Yeah. One of them sitting right here.
Oh, the Xbox.
Okay. Yeah. That's one of them.
Uh-huh.
A couple of them here and there that Barb may or may not know that I have.
Oh, okay. Now that wrench set, is that under the tree?
No, it's in the garage. It's in the garage.
So there's nothing for you to open on Christmas? You already have everything?
There might be something for me to open because I might buy something this week and wrap it up and put it under the tree.
Oh,
see what parts.
Speaking of wrapping, Lynn said that no more gift bags. She doesn't care how bad the wrapping is. She doesn't want any more gift bags.
Why is that?
She wants me to show some effort, and I can't use the gift bags anymore. I got to do wrapping.
Well,
I love it.
That's manageable. You can do that, right?
Yeah. I said, just temper your expectations. As most things she does with me.
Yeah.
So
I dare you to take the Sunday comics and wrap up her gifts in the Sunday comics.
Well, you would have to assume that we have the Sunday. We get a newspaper here.
Well, you go out and buy one, Mike. go out to the grand.
You assume that I'm leaving the house now.
I'm sorry, I assume too much.
Christmas is I think it has different definitions between men and women, right?
Especially our wives, Eric.
Yeah, Christmas. Go ahead.
I said I think between Lynn and John, I think there are if there's like low, medium, high excitement. I think John and Lynn are at the end, are at the high, around the high.
I would agree. I would totally agree. Now, Christmas to me, every day's a holiday for me. I can care less about Christmas, right? So, my wife doesn't listen to the show because I can tell you what I got. It's not a big deal. She doesn't listen to the show. So, I got her a lot of things, man. You know?
Yeah, things that you can say. Things that you can say on a podcast.
Yeah. I can say one of. Well, I bought her she has a ring, right? That her wedding ring.
Yep.
So I bought an extension to it. You know what the extension to the wedding ring is?
Yes.
Okay, I bought that.
Lynn wants one of those too.
Yeah, I got that.
But if like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 go missing from like the bank account, like it's a joint account. She's gonna be like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Right, but
she's gonna notice that.
Here's the thing. So stuff like that, it doesn't excite me because it doesn't do anything. It just sits on your hand, right?
Right.
It's pretty boring. It's pretty boring to me, but it excites her, right? So, and then we did all the floors and all that. I'm getting the upstairs done now. I'm getting all the cabinets in our kitchen painted. All that. That kind of stuff excites her. So I'm like Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying? I'm like the dude, right?
Yeah. Tomorrow we have contractors coming over to draw up plans as we're going to be doing a major renovation in the house.
Right.
So, yep.
So I can't depend on Jonna to get me a Christmas present, right? So I got to buy my own, right?
Same here.
What you think I bought, Mike?
Another TV, a TV that's got the variable refresh rate, that's got HDMI 2.1 and 120 frames per second. Sweet, sweet Jesus.
You are like a soothsayer. That is the absolute truth. But
the Amazing Kreskin. They call me the Amazing Kreskin.
You wear a wizard hat.
You was wrong on one thing, though, Mike.
What?
Instead of one, I bought 2 8K TVs, bro.
You got to have them next to each other. You got to have them next to each other so they're uniform.
Exactly.
You can't have those mismatch anymore.
No, exactly. You can't have that. So I got 2 8K 65-inch LG Nano fucking whatever they're called TVs. They're not going to be here like on Christmas. They'll be here probably in January. But I'm just saying I bought them already.
Is that why? That's got to be a $10,000 purchase almost.
Actually, not quite $10,000. Close. Yeah.
Matt's sweating now underneath all that fucking garb he has on right now. He's going to need to get out a fig leaf and be like, motherfucker.
I'm just thinking in my head, like,
the guy that will. Now, here's a guy that will spend $53,000 on a truck that's not getting driven that much. Because no, not talking about you. I'm talking about Matt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Tell Matt, I don't have a truck, Matt, so there you go.
Now, I think when everything, obviously we're in a pandemic here, so maybe the truck would get more use in a regular year going back and forth to work and when you used to help out your buddy, but those TVs would get a lot more use to help right now.
Yes, sir. And
I could use it right here in front of me.
And I'm not wearing it on my finger. There you go.
There you go.
I ordered a truck. Matt, I ordered a truck, though. Well, it's called an Atlas. I don't know if you ever heard of Atlas. It's a electric truck.
Mm-hmm.
No, I haven't
Check
heard
it
of
out.
No.
ATLIS. Atlas, right?
Uh-huh.
It's not going to be out till next year, but you got to put $1,000 down. I put $1,000 down on it.
That's pennies. I mean, you're talking about a man going out and buying 8K TVs. So just hey, you know what? While I'm at it, I'm going to put $1,000 on a goddamn truck coming out next year.
Yeah. Hell
yeah.
That truck is awesome.
I told Lynn that my financial advisors, my life coaches, said I should get a truck, and then she. This was months ago. You guys were saying this.
Yeah, you should. You should still get a truck.
And the other day, she's like, "Let's get a truck." And then we had the conversation that night with you and Jay, and you informed me how much trucks go for. I'm, blissfully ignorant over here, thinking I can get a pickup truck for, somewhere between, $35,000, $45,000.
That truck 55.
Yeah, and these guys are like, $55,000, $60,000. And I said to Lynn, "How much do you think these things are?" And she thought the same thing as I did. And I said, "These things are like, high 50s." And she says, "We're not getting a truck." And I says, "I understand that." I don't want that. I wouldn't want it. I would never spend $60,000 for a vehicle. Never.
Well, I'm spending.
It's getting hard to. It's getting hard to not be able to.
I'm right at the
spend
cusp.
that money.
I'm right at the cusp of my parents not driving. At least I say this now. My grandfather, he lived till he was 98. But I feel like my parents are at the cusp of like at least if they're not driving, they're gonna like just have one person drive. So there's gonna be like a car like coming down the pike. You know, I haven't bought too many cars in my life. I've gotten a lot of hand-me-downs from my old man, you know. The one car that I did buy, I had a Mazda, a very fucking nice Mazda hatchback, fully fucking loaded, and fucking Lynn totaled it on me.
It's hard to buy a new vehicle that doesn't have all the bells and whistles. You know, just a stripped-down vehicle. It's hard to find.
It's just
you can find them. You got to look for them, but man.
It's like going into GameStop and trying to find just a console, right? They need to sell you all the combos.
You got to buy that bundle. You got to buy that bundle. Yes, sir.
I just decided I can't do gas anymore, man.
Well, they're going to outlaw them by 2025 supposedly. I mean, California has signed it. They've committed to by 2025 all electric cars or whatever. So we'll see. I mean, that's a lot of cars. I don't know how.
I think people are in a big surprise when they realize how expensive these electronic cars are. You're talking about bitching about price of a truck now. Just wait till then.
Well, they're coming down, though. Like, you can get a Tesla for like 30, 35, the small one. You know what I mean?
Well, if they have to mass produce them for everybody, well, shouldn't that bring the price down?
Yeah.
You would think so. Yeah. But the problem with the Tesla is like you get 200 miles and you got to find a place to charge it up.
I ain't going more than 20.
Mine's going to go 500 miles and it charges in 15 minutes.
Where the fuck do I got to go?
I'm just saying, I mean, people travel. Well,
you got to put gas in your car. You can't go, so you can go 200 miles without filling.
Yeah, but I can keep going. I'll just sit and stop for a couple of hours. I can fill up my truck in 20 minutes and then be back on the road.
You can fill up your Tesla in 20 minutes. It don't take that long.
Oh, bullshit.
I'm telling you, it doesn't. Check it out. It doesn't take that long.
I would never get a Tesla. Look at that. Ian Hales in chat. What's going on? The two J's are here.
J.
The other J says Nissan Frontier, 32,000. I worked for this guy many, many years ago, and probably one reason I would never get a Nissan is he said he had two horrific incidents at a Nissan dealership. One where they crashed his car in the dealership, like moving it around, and they blamed it. They said they didn't own up to it. And the guy, had to go through all sorts of rigmarole to get the car fixed, and I don't even know if he ever did. And I was like, I know that's one dealership, but
the word Nissan and truck don't go together. That's not a truck. A Chevy is a truck.
Ford's a truck. Chevy's a truck. Dodge is a truck.
Yeah.
America, goddammit.
Yeah.
All right, where are we talking? We're talking. I don't know don't know what I'm getting for Christmas. I do know because I had my own Amazon list, so I know like 99% of the things I'm getting. But then Lynn said today, don't look at the Amazon till Christmas. So there's some sort of surprise, some surprise gift between now and Christmas. And it's been snowing so much here. Pat on the back to myself. I bought my first. You would think a guy who lives in New England would have a pair of snow boots.
Mucks.
Mucks. I fucking shovel snow in sneakers. I was out today. I was outside today in my basketball shorts and sneakers shoveling. But yeah, I bought myself actually my first pair of boots in years. I think the other pair of boots that I have are when I had my motorcycle. They were like the steel tipped ones. And they're so like mangled. I put my feet in there and like my feet like rub up against the steel and get all fucked up. Like they really fucking hurt. I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I got myself some new sneakers. I didn't get Tim's, Eric. The wife wasn't going to spring for Tim's, but I got something, a knockoff maybe, something. So.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah. Because you're not out there long. I know your driveway, you don't shovel the whole drive. Do you go all the way down the driveway?
No. Tomorrow will be a big day out there because we had a sneaky snowstorm today. Dropped about 3 inches of snow. So I have well over a foot outside right now. But
holy cow!
But there's a fresh layer of 3 inches out there, and we have an agreement with our plow guy not to come unless it's 3 or more. So I don't think he's going to come. So I was going to I was going to take the snowblower out tonight after the podcast, but the kids will probably be sleeping, so got to get up a little earlier tomorrow and do it, just so it doesn't like rain and get all fucking hard out there and slippery. So
your kids got school this week?
Oh yeah, they have school till Wednesday. Yep.
Oh, I think
because we don't have
we've got Tuesday, Monday, and Tuesday.
We've had this conversation ad nauseum before, but we don't do this whole winter break thing. You know, they have Christmas Eve off through the 4th, and then they get February. Then they get a February vacation, and then they get an April vacation. Yep.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, it breaks it up nice.
Yeah, it does.
You can go on vacations, in the wintertime.
Sure.
So, not that we're going anywhere now, but yeah, I have well over a foot outside. When they bring the snow into the driveway, like my proper driveway, which is circular, they push it all up against this one part of the wall, which my kids call Mount Mahoney, and the mountain right now has got to be, pretty fucking high up there, man.
Damn, that's pretty good for this time of year.
It's not even fucking... Tomorrow's the first day of winter, right?
Yeah.
Technically, it's still in fall.
Buckle in.
Yeah.
Wow.
And how's the snow in your area? I had heard something, Eric, about snow in Virginia. Was that true?
I mean, it wouldn't be what you consider snow. It'd be like
a dusting.
It wasn't even sticking to the ground. It's not even that serious.
But what about that? I know over where Al is in the Poconos, they got buried with like 2 feet, and then
that's like the mountains though.
And then Binghamton, New York, got like 44 inches dumped over in one storm. 44 inches. Yeah. But did you see that?
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I don't know how we get so lucky. We never. It always breezes past us.
Well, you get those. The reason you get so lucky is because you get the fucking hurricanes, the tropical. You get those storms.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And we don't. We get the snow, the blizzards, nor'easters. But I don't. Did you see that big collision on the highway in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, man.
2 or 3 people died. 66 cars and trucks.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was. I think they said it was something like 55 trucks, and the rest were cars, SUVs.
And they just couldn't stop. It was a chain reaction, man. It looked crazy.
Yeah, that's like my worst nightmare, being on like a small 2-lane highway like that and just stuck there for hours. Like, all the trucks were all mangled and shit off the side of the road, smashed into each other. Fuck that noise. That's where I would need Matt to come with his $53,000 truck and fucking be like, sir, pull me out.
That's right.
Here comes Matt.
All right. We're going to get right into this Cyberpunk. Let's play the news jingle. All the news is around Cyberpunk. We're going to talk about it. We're going to kick it off with Eric's impressions first and then get into the fallout. So here we go.
Never heard of Cyberpunk.
Really? Okay, do you hear what he just said? He just said, why don't you, for once in your life, just do the fucking news? All right, no. I'm going to do the fucking news. No, here is the fucking news.
Give us the fucking news.
Yes. Well, shit. A lot of shit has happened since we last talked about Cyberpunk. But before we get to all that, Eric, have you had much time to play it? I know you've been busy at the JOB with all the craziness in DC. Have you had much time to play it?
Man, I only got like 5 hours in.
All right, well, that's long enough to have an opinion.
Yeah, and the opinion, it's good. It's growing on me. The story is pretty. I like the story. It's pretty dope. The city, it's an active city and a booming city, but if it was more like a Grand Theft Auto city, you know what I mean? It just doesn't seem as lively as like a Grand Theft Auto city.
Well, I think we talked about that. I think that's intentional. Would you not agree, Matt? Like we talked about that last. Well, we talked about that, and something has happened that has made these people like corporations have taken over and pushed the man down, right? So there's we'll push the robots down or whatever these things are, cyborgs. And there's a lot of people that are destitute, look like they're on something, like
and
zombies.
When you try to talk to them, they don't really have anything to say. You know, it's you're right.
I don't think the
purpose.
world is supposed to be filled, like the environments are supposed to be like lively and filled with like optimism and, you know, America and just bustling. And I think it is supposed to be this like heavy like weight to it of like, this is our only future. This is our only future. This is all we got.
You're right. I agree with you, Mike, and like we said last week about that same thing. But also kind of agree with Eric. There's not a lot of like, I wouldn't say lively, but like variety.
Like, where the fuck are all these people going?
Yeah, and
they're always
like
walking.
A lot of duplicates of people too.
Yeah. But other than that, I think it's nice and it's good. And I like, you know, a lot of stuff is going on. Police are always interacting with people, and there's always some kind of gunfight or something going on.
No,
so, I mean, that's as far
what
as
faction? What faction did you go with?
The city
Corpo
kid or whatever.
Oh, street kid. Yeah, that's what I got as well.
I didn't do Nomad because I thought I was going to start out in the desert and then have to travel to the city. I just wanted to be in the city right away, so I did the city kid.
Yeah, I didn't know, man. I was in the city within like, I don't know, 20 minutes.
No.
What system are you playing on, Eric? What are you playing it on?
The Series X.
Okay.
And to that too, I haven't had any problems with it. No glitches, no shutdowns or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what people are. I mean, I hear them, but I can't relate because I haven't had anything going wrong with it yet.
Right. I mean, the only thing I'm seeing is just jank, right? Floating things here and there. Like today, I had a couple situations. Well, what's happening more and more is I'm killing dudes, and their dialogue is still going on, right? So I went into this like one like minor assault situation. I took everybody out. The sort of like head guy of the group was this fat, I think like Samoan type guy. I took him out. He crashed into a trash compactor, and his like arm was like hanging out a little bit, but his head was sort of in the thing, and he just kept on talking over and over again. Finally, I had to just throw a fucking grenade at him and blow him to fucking smithereens. He looked like a baked ham by the time I was done with him. That stopped the motherfucker from talking.
Yeah,
that's the type of stuff that takes you out of the immersion of the game, though. You know, you get sucked into it, and something like that comes out. I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
they got a lot to
about. Go ahead.
They got a lot to work on. They got a lot to work on as far as the patching and all that stuff. I know that's probably a daunting task trying to get everything taken care of.
Right. I mean, if we want to talk immersion, Matt, I think one big thing that is not a bug that's completely intentional that can take you out of the immersion is you can just go in and like loot from anybody.
Yes.
Right.
With no consequences. No consequences at all.
Right. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And the sex is unnecessary. Now I like sex just like the next man, but there's really no point to it. The nakedness and
I watched Mike posted some videos on YouTube, and I think I learned a couple of moves from what Mike posted.
Let's talk about that. So I've got like 2 or 3 sex scenes, and hey, to their credit, each one is a little bit different, right? It's not the same thing over and over again. It is the same chick on Jig Street, so that's a little disappointing that it's always the same woman. But I tried. I posted it once on YouTube.
Entrepreneur.
And I wasn't thinking. I was just like, let me just put sex scene. Right? YouTube took it down. So I'm talking to Freddie in our chat, and he's like, well, just post it like romance. I was like, all right. Re-uploaded it. Just said, V gets romantic or something like that. 5 minutes later, YouTube took it down again. I was like, all right, I'm not going to push that fucking button. So then I go to what's that image site? Imgur, whatever that is.
Image Fap?
No, IMGUR, however you pronounce it.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I've seen everything fucking on that shit. I've seen porn on that stuff before. What
Oh, no.
I uploaded it there, and they took it down as well. I was like, what do I got to do? I was like, do I literally have to go ahead and open like a Pornhub account?
Now go to X Hamster. Put it up there.
Pornhub now is just, you got to be an authorized, you got to go through their partnership program. You just can't be uploading willy-nilly shit up there anymore.
So. Yeah.
I wanted to show it to people, but So yeah, I've been laid like 4 times in the game so far.
Man, 3 it's more than me.
3 that I've paid for, and 1 that's part of a storyline.
Oh, okay. I was about to ask you, did it matter to the storyline or not?
So if you go to this Jig Street, which is kind of like,
look this up.
In Boston, we would have called it the combat zone back in the day. So there's like prostitution, sex shops, strip joints. Man, this the adult sex toy store. My God, I posted some of those. I posted some of those on the Discord. Some of the pictures.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fist of fury.
I saw some of the. Oh boy.
Sure enough, so far none of us are having any issues with saves or anything like that. I'm not sure if that's just a PC thing or what. We're going to get to that news story in just a little bit, but Eric, go ahead.
Yes.
Eric, are you enjoying the game overall, or I mean, I know you haven't played much.
I really do like it, but I've noticed that you really have to pay attention. You have to be focused on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you have to really say, okay, I have to really dedicate time to it. I can't pop in and pop out because you lose a lot if you do that.
It depends. I mean, you can certainly do a lot of I did a lot of the side stuff first, right? To build to build up my street cred. So right now my level is 17, but my street level is 34. So it's interesting how my street cred is double.
You just go to the map and just take on all the little bubbles things that are red and all that.
So I go to the map and then I hit on the D-pad. I do 2 taps to the right, so it only brings up the blue shit, where like the baseball bats and the knives and stuff like that. And I just start going through and clearing those out, and that gives you good practice to how to like get the hacking down, the quick hacking, the breaching, and get get used to the combat and things like that. So that is really.
Now, once you clear those out, do those pop back up, or are they like gone? They're gone.
For right now, they're gone. I mean, I'm about 35, 36 hours in right now, and nothing has popped back up.
Okay.
So, Eric, how much of the story have you done? Have you got to the title screen yet?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I got to the title screen. That's after a little bit after that Dex dude gives you. Do y'all have the same thing that I have? Like, you have to go through Dex. He gives you that mission.
Yeah. So you've done that mission. You've met Johnny Silverhands.
Yeah. All that good stuff.
All right. So, see you later, Maniac.
It's cool.
Yeah, I think it gets really good. I was not happy with that particular story, if I'm honest. Like that I didn't understand what was going on, and all the flashing of like the white. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck is this? But I felt like after that, some of the storylines are pretty cool. Witcher-esque, like Jay was saying, like, hey, it's not grabbing me like The Witcher. They were really known for their storylines, but I'm finding some of these side missions are pretty cool.
I kind of agree with that. There's still nothing that's kind of capturing me. I was like, why am I doing this? What's going on here? There's nothing that's kind of grabbed me like that yet.
Well, you have to know why you're doing it. You're doing it because you're trying to get that Johnny out of your head.
Well, now maybe, yeah. I hate that. Actually, I hate that part.
Hey, did you hear, Mike, that the Stadia is the most stable version?
Well, I think PC is probably the most stable, depending on what type of PC you have. But I think as far as not owning a PC, Stadia is probably the closest. I mean, it's been fine. That blew my mind.
That blew my mind, man. I was like, what?
So what did you do for character creation? Did you do something random? How much time did you spend in that? And did you give yourself a large dong, a medium dong, or a small dong?
Well, I made mine anatomically correct, so it's pretty big. But I tried to design him. I didn't want it to be random. They don't have a lot of hair choices for the brothers. You know what I'm saying? Unless you just want to be spiked out. My guy has like braids or something, or what you call those things?
Cornrows.
not cornrows, but dreadlocks.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
you're like a Rasta guy.
Yeah, he looks like a Rasta guy with some all kinds of metal hanging out of his face. It looks like, I guess he's cool.
Yeah, I'm very surprised with this game with all that detail you put into it, but they don't have where you can like go into the barber or someplace and modify that shit.
It's probably coming. I think that was an update later in The Witcher, if I'm not correct. I think that came in like an update. I think.
Yeah.
All right, so we want to get into this.
It's a good game, though. It's a good game. That's my 2 cents. It's a good game. And it's only going to get better.
I firmly believe that, but we're going to talk about all that here. So we know the game launched on the 10th of December, right?
Okay.
Shortly thereafter, people on whatever you want to say, last gen, current gen, PS4 and Xbox One were reporting problems, glitches, quest progression problems, crashes, jank, a whole host of things, right? CD Projekt Red comes out a few days after release and apologizes and said they should have paid more attention to that particular generation. And if you want a refund, go ahead and contact Sony or Xbox and they'll handle it for you. And it appears they made that statement without consulting PlayStation and Xbox. Okay? And while they were making that statement, they also revealed that they bypassed or skipped certification. And I think this is really the reason why the game got pulled from Sony. Because there's a lot of fucking broken games on PlayStation, right? And Sony doesn't have a refund policy like Microsoft and Valve does, right? If you've played the game, you haven't played it for, if it's been 2 weeks and you've only played it for 2 hours or less, no questions asked. You can get supposedly get your refunds on Xbox and on Valve. Sony doesn't really have a refund policy. So Sony, I believe, had to say that the game was defective and couldn't be sold. So they pulled it. But there's the game is like not broken. It has issues, I believe, right? Yeah. And I think Sony was like, fuck you, CD Projekt Red. You're not going to tell us how to manage our money. And then you're not going to go out and fucking tell people that you skipped certification. Because now what's going to happen, I firmly believe, is there's going to be a class action lawsuit against CD Projekt Red, Microsoft, and Sony. As silly as that sounds over a $60 game, but I think now that CD Projekt Red has publicly admitted that they skipped certification because they felt Sony and Microsoft felt that they would handle it post-launch. They admitted that. Sony was like, you can go fucking, you can go fucking suck a dick. We're pulling your fucking game. Fix your problems and don't fucking tell us how to run our online network.
Yeah, I don't see the class action lawsuit happening because they're giving refunds back. So there's nothing. I mean, there's nothing like what's to sue for.
Well, some people are not getting their money back with Microsoft. I posted something in our private Twitter yesterday or on Discord. I posted it. Microsoft told the guy to go contact your bank and dispute the charge.
Yeah, I don't see a class action coming from this.
Well, there's a couple news stories out there. I'm not saying it's going to happen either, but there's speculation that could happen.
That's shoddy business. That's shoddy business, though.
It just makes them liable, right? It just
But I mean, what damages did they have? I mean, there's no. I mean,
I think lawyers
did you actually get hurt from this game? No.
Well, lawyers have sued for less or fucking filed things.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
It's just like if you went to a movie and you wanted your money back from the movie that time. I mean.
Yeah, but I didn't go out for a class action lawsuit for that. I got my free popcorn, my free pop, and went on my way. People are getting their money back. People are getting their refund. So
Sony's giving you your money back, and they've delisted the game. They've pulled it off their store. You can't buy it.
That's huge there.
You can't buy it. Right now, Xbox has a console exclusive for Cyberpunk.
Console exclusive by default. Dude.
Exactly. So Microsoft has followed suit, sort of. They're offering refunds, but again, your mileage may vary there depending on how much you've played the game. We're seeing some people on Twitter not getting refunds, and they're telling them to go contact your bank to do a chargeback. Best Buy is offering refunds up until tomorrow, the 21st, even if you've opened the game. So typically their refund policy is the game still has to be sealed, no digital refunds. Right now, everything can be refunded up until tomorrow because there's supposed to be a patch that comes out tomorrow, but I think that patch already came out.
Noah got one the other day, and he said his is a little bit better,
Yeah, we got a 15 gigabyte patch, 1.05 it's called. We'll go over that in a little bit, but yeah. So I mean, there's just a lot of people giving out refunds. GameStop is not giving out a refund. I checked with my source, a manager at GameStop. They're not giving out refunds. CD Projekt Red said if you cannot get a refund from people, they'll handle it. For anybody who can't get a refund, they're going to handle it. So
good luck with that.
We'll see about that. I mean, what do you feel, Matt, about Sony pulling the game? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a pretty big deal. Taking that off the market where you can't even buy it. I'm assuming that's the same for PS5 too. You can't even buy the PS5 neither. No. So,
but wouldn't you blame some of that on like Microsoft and Sony because they put it on their store without it being tested, right? That's what you said earlier, right? So they would be at fault somewhat also, right?
Sure. I think Microsoft is more at fault here because Microsoft has collector's edition consoles, controllers. You know how like Call of Duty has like a marketing campaign with PlayStation, but the game also comes out on Xbox? Well, that's the deal with Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk has a marketing deal with Xbox, but the game also comes out on PlayStation. So that's why you don't see like a Cyberpunk, console or controller for PlayStation. Microsoft's got all that marketing deal with them. So it just seems like real shitty business practice not to test a game or not to push it through certification, not to show anything of it because they had 8 million pre-orders, right? And they didn't want to lose that money.
When you do a return, do they take it off your hard drive? Say you bought it digitally. Do they take it off your hard drive or?
Yeah, you can't have your cake and eat it too. So if you ask for a refund, you can't play the game anymore. You'd have to buy it again. Now, if you didn't ask for a refund, like if you have it on PlayStation, and you didn't ask for a refund, you can still get updates while it's delisted. But you cannot have your cake and eat it too. You can't ask for a refund and then continue to play the game. Right. I know some people are upset about that, and I think that's one of the most fucking ludicrous things ever.
What do you expect is going to happen there? I mean, you take something back, you can't still deal with it.
Yeah.
The whole thing is really unfortunate, and it's kind of surprising with all these delays. People are thinking like, "What the hell? We've waited, over a year,
8 years."
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about from an initial release date,
right?
What they talked about to now, and it's still fucked up.
Well, the devs have told the devs had a meeting with the board, and they were pissed. They told them that it wasn't ready. Developers asked, it says here from Bloomberg, frustrated and angry staff fired questions at the board during an internal video meeting Thursday that opened with management apologizing for the game's disastrous launch. Developers asked blunt questions about the company's reputation, the game's unrealistic deadlines, and the relentless overtime in the months and years leading up to the release. It talks about the discussion that they had with PlayStation, and then developers were asking certain questions like what's going to happen here with work and overtime. Why did you tell people that the game was playable in January when it wasn't? And it seems like all the responses they got back from the board were vague and non-committal, is the quote here. One employee asked the board why it had said in January that the game was complete and playable when it wasn't true, to which the board answered that it would take responsibility. Another developer asked whether CD Projekt directors felt it was hypocritical to make a game about corporate exploitation while expecting that their employees work overtime. The response was vague and non-committal.
That was my favorite one right there. Yeah.
Many industry observers have wondered why Cyberpunk, which was first announced in 2012 and was delayed 3 times in 2020, still appears to be unfinished. Several current and former staff who worked on Cyberpunk 2077 have all said the same thing. The game's deadlines set by the board of directors were always unrealistic. It was clear to many of the developers that they needed more time. And again, this is from Bloomberg, Jason Schreier.
So, I don't want to, blame developers, because they're kind of low man on the totem pole here. But
Matt has this saying that shit rolls downhill.
But is there any type of incompetence anywhere in here with this? I mean, you take a game like Red Dead Redemption or Grand Theft Auto 5. Okay, how huge those games were, but how flawless.
Well, I don't think Red Dead was flawless in the beginning. I think Red Dead 2 had some issues that they had to work through. I think we're sort of...
Nothing like this.
I think if we go back and revisionist history might show us not as severe as this, but they had some issues. I think GTA is probably the better one to call out. But I get you with your overall saying that Rockstar games have more polish at launch than this particular game. I think definitely mismanagement seems to be the thing. I mean, what happens at your work, Matt, when you guys do work? You guys have a project manager, program manager. Everything gets signed off through multiple levels. So you're just not at your home drafting up a chicken coop, and then all of a sudden it goes right to be built. Right? You have checks and balances in place.
It goes through quality control and. People look at my drawings and my design, and they review it, and they comment, and they make changes. So, it's not just.
But did you get a lot of pushback from the top? I'm sure the top people at CD Projekt Red was like, "Hey, we already pushed this back one time. We got to get this game out, no matter what. We got to get this game out. We'll patch it later. We'll patch it with some downloads, and that's probably what they're getting."
Yeah, I'm for sure. I think.
I can't do that. I can't patch a building after it's built. I mean, there's no going back and patching a 7-story office structure.
But I think CD Projekt Red got a lot of leeway because of who they were. CD Projekt Red.
I think a lot of these game developers are in the same boat.
They put out great Witcher series, and they was riding on that.
Well, Witcher, I guess.
If they respond and make it better and fix what they need to fix, this will all be forgotten in a little bit of time.
Yeah,
that's what I want to get into next. We've never seen anything of this fucking magnitude. So we've had games that have been bad before, like really bad games, and those games aren't even worth mentioning. But then you have games that people are sort of on the fence about, like is Anthem a bad game? Anthem felt like an incomplete game. It didn't feel like a bad game. Like there was nothing technically wrong with Anthem. It just didn't have wasn't much meat on the bone. Right?
Yep.
Mass Effect Andromeda wasn't a bad technical game. It just was something that was a diversion of the other 3 games, right?
Yeah.
Fallout 76
had a lot of problems.
I mean, but it wasn't well thought out. I don't think the game was well thought out when they did it. They just kind of rushed the whole concept of it.
And then they had to make that thing eventually free to play. Didn't we pay for that, me and you?
Yeah, we paid for that. Yeah.
And then they had eventually made it free. And then Assassin's Creed Unity. That was a game that had all those memes, right? All those fucking faces that just weren't there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Then you got Hello Games put out No Man's Sky.
Right. So I think I go back to what I said at the beginning. This has less to do about the game on PlayStation and has more to do about CD Projekt Red opening their fucking mouth and saying, yeah, go to Sony for refunds, and then telling people they skip certification. And Sony was like, no. Fuck you. Your game's off our system. Fix your fucking game, and then we'll circle back with you and see if we'll put it back on the store.
Yeah.
I wonder how they skip certification because Sony allowed it, probably because we're CD Projekt Red. We know your game is good.
Exactly.
Probably.
And they don't need that out there. They don't need that business being put out there.
Yeah.
So what do you think this does for CD Projekt Red? I mean, I said on Twitter earlier in the week, I think everybody likes a good redemption story. I think No Man's Sky right now is held in such high regard because they put their heads down and they delivered update after update, and that game now is like almost like a gold standard. Like if CD Projekt, if those guys go put out a new game, they're kind of fucked, don't you think? If those No Man's Sky guys go to put out a new game, because it has to now exceed what they just all that time they put into that one particular game. That game, their next game has to almost come out like that, unless they do early access or something like that.
But time heals all wounds, and all that's going to be forgotten. Nobody's going to remember that when they put out another game. Oh, it was going to be a thought that passing in the night. Oh, they No Man's Sky was trash at first. Nobody's going to remember that.
Well, it might be a lesson learned too for these people. People at No Man's Sky, they might think, you know what? Wait, we're getting this new game coming out. Well, let's not announce it this year. That's going to come out in fucking 2022.
Yeah, they got to.
Let's wait until the fucking game's actually ready to go.
Well, that's Sony's. That's Sony's there.
And then announce it.
I mean, that was a Sony exclusive. I'm sure, just like in this CD Projekt Red, I'm sure the No Man's Sky dudes were like, guys, the game might not be ready, and
get it ready. Get it. Make sure it's ready. Get it ready.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about CD Projekt Red though. I mean, they're working on The Witcher 4, and they got to finish this game too. Where is your confidence level? I mean, for guys like us who aren't having problems because we're on next gen, it doesn't seem to be like the end of the world. But for people who it's almost like feels like salt in the wounds, right? Because I'm sure a lot of these people wanted to get the next gen and either like couldn't afford it or couldn't find it, right? So there's some sort of frustration there anyways. And then they were like, well, at least I have Cyberpunk to play to sort of take my mind off that I didn't upgrade to next gen. And now I get this game and it doesn't fucking perform on the system. And it seems like, someone's kicking me in the nuts while I'm down. How do you get those people back to buy the game again?
To buy Cyberpunk again or to buy Witcher?
Cyberpunk again.
They're going down the right road because they're using their humbleness. Hey, man, hey guys, we messed up. Just give us another chance, and we're gonna make it right. That's what they're doing. They're putting their tail between their legs right now, and it's gonna pay off in the end.
They're not only putting their tail between their legs, they're putting their wallet on the curb, and it's getting stomped. The fucking I think they've lost something like $8 billion in the stock exchange.
Yeah.
They're losing a lot of fucking coin. And then for anybody that won't refund them, they said they'll pay out of pocket and refund people. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, because they don't want that moniker over their head that they're a shit company. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, good luck with that. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, to me, it's not like I'm talking about buying a $60,000 truck, right? It's not like I bought a truck that was a lemon, and then I had to turn it in and go, oh, there's no way in hell I'm buying another truck from that company.
Right.
It's a $60 game, guys. Let's try to peel the onion back here a little bit and get really what we're talking about. It's just a game. So
that's why I think that a mass action lawsuit is like fucking dumb. It's not going to get any traction.
Yeah, we'll see. Definitely. But for me, I don't feel like The Witcher 4. Like I would not hesitate to like buy it.
Yeah.
Now something that would happen to me to like not buy it is if like what if they came out next week, guys, and said, you know what, we come to you with our tail between our legs, and we just can't give you the PS4 and Xbox One X version. We've tried. We've looked at it from all angles. We're sorry. We'll refund everybody. But this game is only going to be next gen and PC and Stadia going forward. We've looked at all possibilities, and the clearest resolution to resolve this is just a cut bait on the Xbox One X or the Xbox One and the PS4. How would that sit?
If they, well, it would sit with me because, like you said, we're next gen. But that's a kind of a dick move, though.
Right.
It's the easy way out.
Yeah, exactly, Matt.
Or
I don't put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, man. Put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths.
Yeah.
I don't think you do that. I think you rework it until you can work it. Even if you have to dumb it down a little bit, that's what you had to do because the hardware limited you. It's not that you don't want to do it. You just have to do what you can do with what you got. Right. And they can say that. They can say, well, we kind of had to make some adjustments, but we got it working perfectly on the P4 and the Xbox.
It's going to be very interesting on how they handle this. There's supposed to be I think Best Buy said that the update 12/21, that's why they had the refund date in there. We just talked a minute ago about the patch that came out on 12/19, or it was 12/18, a day or two ago. I have no idea if that's the 12/21 patch. We just got it a few days early. Does anybody in chat, or anybody know that? Because I think that's what Best Buy was sort of waiting for. Otherwise, the big patches are coming in January and February for this game, and I'm wondering, is that what Sony's waiting for to put this thing back on their store? Like, do you think they're going to wait for 2 patches, 1 patch? What do you envision the process for them to get this back on the store?
Testing.
Are these so-called the big patches? Are these going to be the bells and whistles and the ray tracing and all that?
No, that's not. Who knows when that's coming? These are not.
Cool.
January and February are not next gen patches.
Okay, cool.
Hotfix 105 launched. It weighed 17.358 gigabytes. It's live everywhere. Long list of quest fixes on the gameplay side of things. NPCs taking cover have improved reaction time. There are some visual fixes, including the curious tweak. V appears more modest in the inventory preview after the half-year montage. There's a whole long list of things that have been fixed. But I have no idea if that's like the 12/21 patch. They just gave it to us a few days early or not.
So that means that, this big next gen update patch and everything that's coming sometime. We'll say February, which is hopeful.
I think it's March. I think it's March or April. Yeah. But I get what you're saying. Yep.
Yeah. It might say you went, you was on whatever, you're having issues with it, and say, you know what, fuck this game, I'm done. Would you be inclined in, February when the big patch came out, say, all right, you know what, I'll try it again. I'll give it a try. I'll buy it again or something. Or
I was so disappointed after getting to the title screen. I just didn't like that story and the way those things were handled that I created a specific save file that said, you know what, I'm not going to play until they're doing the next gen. That's how discouraged I was after the first couple hours of this game. And then for whatever reason, I stuck with it and I absolutely love it now. But there was a part of me that was just going to sit there and wait and move on to something else, like Valhalla or Call of Duty or something. But I'm just curious what Sony's going to wait for. Are they going to wait for 1 or 2 of these patches? Because every day it's not in the store, they're losing money, right? They're giving out refunds, and then Xbox, anybody who's sort of on the fence or hears any sort of positive news might go over and play it on Xbox instead of PlayStation. So I'm curious how much gusto they got behind their, satisfaction of pulling it off the store. I'm sure I'm sure when the guy delisted it, there was an emphatic "fuck you" and hit the delete button.
Big red button.
Yeah.
Now, do you think Sony would, because they slept on it before, they would do all kinds of testing to make sure it's legit before they put it back up on the store?
I would think so. I think fool me once, fuck you. Fool me twice, fuck me.
Yeah.
I think for sure. Let's see. I in chat says, do you see Sony's website PS4 Pro out of stock and no plans to restock them? Do you think this issue with 2077 might mean a quick transition to next gen? I think the PS4 Pro has always been an issue to keep in stock. I remember when I wanted to get one a while back, it was tough to find them. Those things, for whatever reason, have not been readily available over the life of them compared to the Slim and the base model. So I'm not sure.
And I'm sure too they're concentrating on getting PS5 out, and they've stopped production on last gen.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I says, I don't think this game will ever run like it's supposed to on base consoles. Neither do I, which is why I brought up, do you think that they will come out at some point and say, sorry, we tried, we're falling on the sword, we're going to give you your money back. We'll even give you the game for, when they said to you, Matt, we're going to give you your money back, but we're going to also double down and give you the game for fucking free. You show us that you're upgraded to the X or the PlayStation 5, and we'll give you the game for free.
I want some money. I want something. I mean, look at Anthem. Look at Anthem. The shit that's gone through. I mean, we paid top dollar for that game, right?
No.
And it's still fucked up.
I think I said this before the show, but I think right now, Todd Howard, Bethesda, Phil Spencer, Bonnie Ross, and all the people at 343 are privately shitting themselves in a corner because
this is definitely setting a precedent.
This is set a precedent that gamers aren't going to just like sit back and just let all these games come out broken anymore.
Yeah.
And it's not just broken. It's this is what you get for wanting to release the game on all these various systems, right? So we sort of get what we get, but I think at the same sense, now, as like Matt said, a precedent has been set, and I think if you release a fucking game that's broken, you might suffer the same wrath where people are going to want their refunds. And will this? Go ahead.
Are we being somewhat spoiled though? Because let's say whoever they 343 or whoever put out that Halo, right? And they put it out, but the gamers were upset. We want it to be better, but I mean, of course, it could be better, but that's what the product they put out. So, are we dictating how this stuff goes?
I think it depends largely how they're going to market these games. I think the issue that the defense that gamers have right now for Cyberpunk is they didn't show us how it performed on the consoles. All the footage was PC, and the review codes were none of it was for consoles. And then they told a journalist, you can't show any of your own footage. You have to use B-roll. So they knew something. There was a deceptive practice in place to fool people. Now,
well, I go back to they went overboard with it. But if you look at all the E3s in the past, most of all the games that they show are computer, right? Right. And then they have to make the consoles live up to that. So kind of they were doing the same thing, but when they went into the deep end of the pool, they were saying, "Hey, you have to use our B-roll, and you can't do this and that." That was messed up. But I thought they probably thought in their mind they could get it to that level, and I think they ran out of time, maybe.
And I'm sure they took a gamble. They had to have had a conversation. People will be. The holidays will be here. There's a pandemic going on. People got other shit going on. What are they going to really complain about? A few faces that are distorted.
Yeah.
And then you never know how these games are going to perform once the millions of people get them in their houses on various machines in various states and various televisions, various frame rates and everything. And you just can't simulate that amount of people playing the game all at once. And shit went sideways quick.
I would hope that this brings for the future of developers not to slow their roll as far as hyping these games and, putting out teasers and trailers and stuff like that. And say, okay, let's wait. Let's not say anything until we're actually ready to go.
Well, you got to understand they do that to get that pre-order money.
They wanted to sell those limited edition consoles. Imagine if you had a fucking Cyberpunk 2077 limited edition Xbox console right now. And you can't even play the fucking game.
they need to go bury it in the desert with ET.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
And it's not like the game was under development. Some of these Assassin's Creed games that come out that are like, wonky and janky as shit, because they used to annualize the fucking franchise. And those games have somewhat gotten better because they've built a 2-year cycle into them. 8 to 9 fucking years they've been developing Cyberpunk.
and it's still fucked up.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that's what's got people most pissed off. It's like, good God, man, come on.
Yeah,
I think
it's
going
too
forward,
ambitious. Too ambitious.
Yeah. Going forward, you're going to have to tease like they did the new God of War. I'm not going to show you anything, but you know, as God of War's coming.
I don't think you can really say that Cyberpunk was rushed when it's been in development for 8-9 years, but you can certainly say they released it before it was fucking ready.
Yeah,
there's a different way of saying
that's
There's a different way of saying it was rushed out. You know what I mean? Rushed out means, to me, like
they had 2 years to do this shit or something.
Yeah, this just wasn't ready after 8 years. As crazy as that fucking.
I'm a civil engineer. I don't know the shit about making a fucking game, but you think after 8 fucking years you would have some shit going on and know what the fuck's happening?
Too many systems they were trying to make it for, apparently. I don't know. I don't know. Did they focus too much on the PC? Did they focus too much on the story part of it? And then, I think in the early days, they had the teams split up. One team was doing The Witcher. One team was doing a Cyberpunk, and then the third team was doing their engine. I mean, they don't have an engine like an outside engine. This is their own internal engine. So this isn't like on Unreal. So this is just their own, like Frostbite, right? They just like, how EA has the Frostbite engine. This is their own Cyberpunk engine. So they have a third team that all they do is work on the engine. Is the engine not good enough? Is that where the problem is? They didn't have enough people working on that part of it, and that's how it went wonky. Like Matt says,
but
he's a civil engineer. I'm like, a banking guy. I don't know how to make fucking video games, but it clearly seems to me like a management resource issue.
But some common sense does come into that because if you're making it on your system, at least whatever system you're making, it's supposed to be rock solid. None of them are rock solid right now, right? I mean, yes, we haven't had that many, but it's not out of the question for it. You said you get a black screen one time. None of that should be happening, period. Nintendo doesn't do that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yes. You don't get no jankiness on a Nintendo.
Well, first party
at
you
all.
Don't. First party you don't.
Well,
I'm sure Skyrim is janky as fuck on the Switch.
Yeah,
you can't tell me with a straight face that Skyrim isn't janky on the Switch.
Skyrim is janky, period, on everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
jank is always going to be there.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you're making it on the PC, right, that should be rock solid, and then you dumb down everything from there. And you're right. I'm a cop. I don't make games. I put people in jail. So I would assume if that. Hey, we got to have something rock solid.
Something to be said for just making it for one system. God of War, Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima. Right?
Yeah, that's fact.
Yep.
That's fact.
There's something to be said about all I got to worry about is the PS4, the PS4 Pro, and the various versions of those systems, right?
Yep.
Now here they had, maybe we'll come out in a month, 2 months, a year from now. Maybe Stadia was the fucking camel that broke the straw that broke the camel's back. Maybe them having to develop it for Stadia and Linux, and they just had to develop resources to that, and it fucking made this whole shit go sideways.
I mean, just saying, we've said, over 8 years, how many different graphics cards came about? How many different CPUs came out? Consoles, different just versions of everything that's come out in the past 8 years for them to have to try and work around.
I don't know what the difference is on how it's easier for them to handle that in the PC realm and not on consoles. I don't understand why, I could play Cyberpunk right now on my PC and not have any issues, but I don't have ray tracing. I just have a 1080, and I'd be able to, it would just automatically put the shit on medium for me, high to medium, and I'd be good to go. But why?
Well, you just said 10 minutes ago that, you got all these different computers, all these different TVs, all the certain, things that they have to account for. So it's no different for PC.
I don't know what makes it harder. I don't know what the console piece of it makes it harder for them. It seems like PC-only games, it wouldn't be a big issue. Eventually, people with outdated systems would know they just wouldn't be able to play, and then everybody else. But something about the
usually they take the PC code and take it over to. I mean, I'm just assuming again. You take the PC code and you take it over to the like console dev kit, and you gotta rework it in that. That's probably where the breakdown happens, I would think.
They gotta they really got to turn it around in some way. It's like one thing I think for like, certainly not talking about us, but in gaming sites that talk about this, but this was like big news. I think once you like start losing like 8 billion, I know it was Polish money and not US dollars, but once you start taking a fucking significant hit that's got the word billions after it, these like, big time websites, whether it's, Bloomberg, New York Times, once those people start reporting on these issues, this has gotten like, beyond gaming. This has become like a cultural thing, like, popular news item. I think even my wife heard about it at work on a call, and they don't have anything to do with video games, and someone was talking about it.
Yeah, when's the last time a video game news has been in the New York Times? Or Washington Post.
I mean, that's because they're PR machine. They did so much hype behind this game, and their name, The Witcher, guys who made The Witcher, people had the expectations were high, bro.
Like Mike said, there's a lot of money involved here. I mean, a lot of money,
and that too.
This and
so last news item here. It says here, if your Cyberpunk save is corrupted, you'll apparently see this prompt when you try and load up the game. Save data is damaged and cannot be loaded. While it's not clear it's not clear what might be causing save files to be corrupted, it seems it can happen when the saves reach 8 megabytes in size. Crossing that 8 megabyte threshold is when the save file corrupted for one person on Reddit. There are also multiple people on CD Projekt Red's forums reporting that their 8 megabyte plus save files are corrupted as well. CD Projekt Red says, unfortunately, the save is damaged and cannot be recovered. To avoid seeing the prompt, the company recommends using an older save and to keep a lower amount of items and crafting materials. Now, on consoles for us, can we see this file? We can't see the on Xbox at least. We can't see the size of our file, can we?
I haven't found any way on the Xbox to find my file saves. I know on PlayStation you can.
Because you can upload it, and then you see it when it gets uploaded. And what about people on Stadia? That shit's all in the cloud. When you're not seeing that.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, I have a shit ton of crafting materials because I haven't fucking crafted a damn thing, and I keep breaking shit down or I sell it. I kind of go back and forth. How many hours you got in the game, Matt?
8, 9.
Okay. I have 35, somewhere in that neighborhood. And, I split my time between breaking shit down or selling it.
I've been breaking a lot of my stuff down. If it's high value, I sell it, but a lot of the common shit, I just break. I just break down. Yeah.
I mean, especially if I'm out and about and I'm fucking overburdened and there's no place near me to sell shit, I'm fucking just break it down. Yep. I mean, I have a lot. Son of a, I went through this. I spent $20,000 today buying these components because I have this one gun, and it looks cool. It's got high damage, and I had the craft for it. It's an epic gun. Or purple is rare.
Yeah.
Or it's purple epic. No, purple is epic. Orange is legendary. Blue is rare. So it was the purple variety.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking craft this fucking gun because I'm gonna use the game like they want me to. Son of a bitch! I spent all It's all in the details. You got to read the fine print, which is very fucking small in this game. So another fuck you to CD Projekt Red over that. Anyways, I spent all this money, 20 grand. I go to craft the thing, and then in small red text, you must have the Grease Monkey perk.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. I was like, well, I know I'm out 20 grand unless I want to sell all that shit I just bought.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I don't want to be around on the day when you're playing the game and all of a sudden you save and you got a corrupt file and all your shit's gone.
I got multiple save files. I'm feeling pretty good.
I'm thinking of, thinking way back to the incident.
The incident was a dark day. It was a dark day.
Oh my God. If this were to happen.
I have multiple saves, and I have something pops in my head, and I goes, that's a pivotal moment in the game. Let me save here and keep that frozen in time and then start a new save.
But those multiple saves, though, doesn't matter if they're all over 8 megabytes.
That's true, I guess. But I could have more or less in my inventory depending on where I am in the game.
But at some point, your save might get to that threshold and like...
Yeah. How do you get rid of your crafting materials? Can you just sell them? I guess you can sell them.
I don't know.
I haven't tried to sell components and shit like that.
You haven't tried something? Yeah. I don't know.
No. I mean, my components has got to be like around a couple in the high hundreds at least.
Jesus Christ. I'd be worried.
Those things those green rolly things, they almost look like fucking like poop bags for your dogs. They're like the fucking green.
I was thinking of hair rollers, but yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, hair rollers. That's another thing.
Poop bags, hair rollers, whatever you want to think.
Same. What's the difference?
Really the same thing. It really is. So does this leave a sour taste in your mouth at all about Witcher 4? Or is it
No.
Is it way too early in the game? You really need to see how it's been less than a month, right? I'm seeing people saying. I heard one guy says it's going to take It's going to take them to release 5 more. Not one, Matt. Not 2. Not 3. But 5 fucking games before he'll get his trust back.
I think that's a little
I'll
ridiculous.
be 65 years old by the time they release 5 more fucking games.
That's kind of fucking dumb, dude. I think they learned their lesson. Okay, I think they definitely learned their lesson.
Well, we'll see.
I don't see them. You're right. We'll see. But I don't see them fucking up like this again.
Yeah.
I think they're like, you know what, guys, let's hold on a minute.
And they probably had a big board meeting knowing this was going to happen. All of this was going to happen.
Hey, let me ask you this. You lose, I'm just throwing $8 billion. You lose that, someone's got to lose their job, no?
Yeah, a couple of someones, maybe.
And hopefully not the fucking, workers. Hopefully fucking management or someone else gets their ass shot, but I don't know.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. They fire themselves. It'd be like one of those like Ubisoft deals where such and such has left the company. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I'm sure, there's a board of directors.
Yeah.
And the board come together and they'll vote, say, you know what? You're the man. Sorry. Bye. But here's your $20 million bonus before you fired.
Yeah. Have a nice life.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Right. That's what's fucked up.
Yeah.
So you've been playing more Destiny, is that right this week? It seems like you've been doing your cookies.
I've been baking cookies, man. I've been baking cookies because that game ain't broke. So I've been baking cookies for tests there on the tower and delivering them to different people across the galaxy and tasty treats I've been making. That game looks great on the Xbox Series X.
Now,
60 frames per second, man.
Where is your poll? I asked this to Maniac the other day, and Eric has already told us with Santa, so Eric had the same poll as well about getting new TVs. And I asked Maniac, where he's at right now of needing a TV that will deliver him the next gen experience with the VRR and the 120 hertz and the HDMI 2.1. And he's like, boy, I need a new TV. I'd love to buy a new TV. Where are you in this, Matt? You just said the Destiny looks great. Are you satisfied with that, or are you looking to make an upgrade at all anywhere?
The only thing I would do is my monitor to be HDR. My monitor's not HDR. My TV is. If I put it on TV, it looks even better. But it's too big and I'm too far away to see what the hell is going on. But my monitor here, if I can get HDR, this is 4K, but it's not HDR. If I could do that, that'd be pretty sweet. 4K HDR monitor would be. But I'm happy here with just in 4K and running it. It looks great. It's shiny. It's fast. It's smooth. That's where I'm at.
Now, if you make a pilgrimage, once you've been vaccinated a couple times, because your glove box is not going to let you through the house with just one, you need to be double bagged, Matt.
I understand.
If you make, you're going to see two beautiful TVs on the wall, you got to be double vaccinated. If you do make the pilgrimage to Eric's house and you see those beautiful 65 glorious inches of 8K on the wall, you're going to feel.
Can you be moved?
You're going to feel a little pulsating pulse?
Probably not, because I'm not sure what 8K materials I'll be showing me on that. So,
He'll have something. He'll have some sort of display. He's going to have some sort of glove box 8K splash screen that's going to show up. Glove box gaming. You don't think he's working on it right now with some company?
Hey, listen.
That's right.
You guys already know. I got some stuff coming up on the channel, man.
We know. We know what he's going to be. He's going to be talking, and he's going to have these 8K TVs behind him that are going to have some sort of, splash screen that are going to just,
you know what, Mike?
Some sort of transition.
Mike, you are so close to it, but you're not totally on it. It's even better than that. I got some stuff working, man. Let me tell you something.
Glovebox is going to be at the next Game Awards as an up. You know how they got like the Founders 50 or whatever? They're going to have the Founders over 50, and Eric's going to be like the first guy in the over 50.
Eric is right now in front of the computer with his Microsoft Paint doubling the pixels in his emblem right now.
I'm going to say this.
Right? Is that how that works?
I'm going to give you a hint. I'm going to say real quick, hologram fan. That's all you need to know.
He's going to have a hologram. He's going to have a hologram behind him.
Yes, sir.
Great. You and Ronnie James Dio. It's going to be great.
Hey, look. Ordered it already. Hologram fan. Look it up. So awesome.
Oh, my gosh.
He's going to be in the back. Hey, listen. I'm Glovebox Gaming.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to end. That's right.
Hey man, you gotta keep pushing, baby. You gotta keep pushing.
Yeah, I just need you to find some time, Eric. It seems like you're always at the JOB spending all this money on the channel, but then the channel doesn't have nothing that's going on.
Man, it ain't like I can say, hey, there's crime. I'm not coming.
There's crime in Night City. I got to stay home tonight.
Yeah, it's crime in Night City. I got to stay home and do some stuff like that.
Have you been playing anything else, Eric?
Yeah, I played something that's really good. It's that damn Zelda clone, Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Yes, I have that. Yeah. I think Santa's going to be bringing that to me.
And let me tell you something. I be playing it at work, just so you know. But anyway, man, that is a really fun game. And it's got a humor side to it, man. It's really good. It's really good. That is a good pickup. If anybody could pick that up, I think it was on sale for like $39, man.
Yep.
That is a really good game. Mike, you're going to be pleased with that, man.
I am. I played the demo on Stadia.
Oh, man. I
thought it was really
good. Yeah. I've been playing that, and I played 2K, the basketball on the PS5.
Is that worth picking up? Can you feel the haptic feedback and everything like that, or is it overrated?
Oh, yeah. No, it's not like drastic, but it's good, and it looks better. The graphics are really good, and I got the upgrade for Madden for the next gen.
How's that?
It looks better.
Yeah.
Yep.
What a fucking waste of a season, though, huh? I cannot get into this football season at all.
The Washington football team on Madden, they're like getting ready to go to the Super Bowl, but I'm just saying
they're in the playoffs, right?
You must be on easy mode.
In the real world, they're in the playoffs. The fourth seed at 6-8. No.
Yeah, but we lost today, man. We almost beat
the Giants. Giants are getting skunked right now by the Browns, 20-3. So,
I'm kind of happy to see that because that's good for me.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of sports, have any guys heard anything about MLB coming out on Xbox this year?
I wanted to talk
That's
about
what
that.
they
I
say.
forgot. I don't think it's going to happen.
You don't think so?
You don't think it's happening this year?
I think you would have heard about. You would have heard MLB now already. I don't wonder if that game's getting delayed because of the mocap shit.
Yeah, maybe they don't want to be like CD Projekt Red. They're keeping it close to the chest. We get close to the
they haven't
baseball
used
season.
anything about PS4 yet, I don't think. Or I'm sorry, PS5 neither. I don't think yet. So you might have a valid point there, Mike, as far as capturing.
Yeah, he might have a valid point. That's for
all
sure.
that stuff. I don't know.
But you don't need actual baseball players to capture it, right? You can use like me and Matt to capture that, right?
I guess. I think it's been a selling point in the past. Other players were like authentic or whatever.
Yeah, right. Their actual swings and stuff.
I thought they said by 2021 that it would be on Xbox. So I thought this year would have been the 1 year they could have got away with not having it on Xbox. But then I think they're locked in for next season.
Yeah, I thought it was 2021 too. It's the first year they could do it.
Yeah.
So,
but maybe he's right. Maybe 2021's the first year you could do it, but by 2023 they have to do it. I don't know. Maybe. But I think the game, they usually sell the game by now, don't they? Does it usually come out in February or March?
Usually March by opening day, it's available. So
you should Google that. See, like when MLB 20 was released. I thought that was usually
pretty sure.
I thought that was usually an end of January, early February game. Just like football comes out like early August. A month and a half.
Yeah, normally it's March 17th. MLB The Show 20 is March 17th.
All right. And they got time then. Not a whole lot of time, 3 months.
But I'm sure they've been working on it, right? Do you agree with that? They've been working on since they announced it.
Well,
right?
Phil said
the Xbox version.
Phil Spencer said games that are in trouble of being delayed because of COVID are games that rely on mocap. If your mocap is already locked in, your games wouldn't get delayed. But he said any games that are working that need mocap, those mocap studios got shut down, and those will be the games that will get delayed.
Don't you think they use the assets that they had before?
Well, and that's the case, and they just do an update, and they don't. I think you're fucking kicking a hornet's nest, especially with the news we just covered for the last hour. If you're just going to do a retread of a game with the same shit, then it just better be a fucking update and not a whole $60 thing.
So I got some breaking news here.
All right.
MLB The Show 21, not that anyone cares about baseball except for me, but MLB The Show 21 info not arriving until next year. Platforms not yet announced. But they go on to say MLB The Show 21 has been confirmed to exist, but San Diego studio notably has stated whether next year's installment will still be confined solely to PlayStation hardware. In a brief message that was posted to Twitter today, MLB The Show 21 was confirmed to be coming next year with the unveiling of a basic logo. No additional details of the project were given. San Diego Studios said that instead it will be looking to share more info in 2021. In the interim, the studio encouraged existing MLB The Show players to keep an eye out for more content headed to the current entry in the series. But it sounds like it's going to be Sony only this year for 2021 still.
Wonder if they're going to get a next-gen upgrade for the current one.
I mean, if they want to, be on top, I would think they would do. Everything should be catered to the next gen.
Right. I mean, but I guess my point is they could say, well, fuck MLB 20. We won't do anything to it. We'll just do roster updates. But MLB 21 could get all the bells and whistles. But Matt just said current people hold on to your game or keep your eye out for news. Maybe they're going to test that and do the next gen update for MLB 20. I'd pick that up just to generate some more sales. Hey, we're releasing this in February.
Yeah, that's a good business. That's a good business look.
Yep.
Yeah.
Breathe a little bit more life into the game there at the very end.
Yeah.
But Bengals are tomorrow night, Matt, against the Steelers.
Against Pittsburgh. They're going to get their ass whooped.
The fucking Jets won a game today, and not only did they win a game, but they fucked themselves out of the number one. Jaguars have moved into the number one spot, Jets into 2, and Bengals still at 3. Those two teams win out. You guys could slide into the number 1 spot.
Hell yeah.
Trevor, that would be a hell of a thing. Lawrence or Burrows.
That'd be nice.
Hell of a
man.
They're going to take a lineman. They'd have to take a left tackle at the number 1 pick.
Yeah, and that's even if Burrows comes back next year. I mean, he's probably going to be out the first few games, if not the first half of the season. The way they're talking about his injury. So
he might bring back the big rifle.
He's doing great for Dallas.
He's been lighting it up.
He kicked our ass last week.
He beat the 49ers today. He's on a 2-week winning streak.
Yeah.
I'm looking for anybody from. Remember that show, $6 Million Man?
Yeah.
I'm looking for anybody associated with them would come to put Alex Smith's legs back together, bigger, stronger, faster. Because Haskins is not cutting the cake, bro. Sorry.
Haskins looks like a cheerleader on the sideline.
Yeah.
Now, what do you guys... We need to move on, but I want to talk one more sports thing here, especially since we were just talking about baseball. What do you think about the Cleveland Indians? They're going to keep the Indians' name. They're going to keep it one more year. Then they said that they're not going to come out with an interim name like the Washington football team, that when they become something other than the Indians, they're going to go right to it. So they said that they're potentially still going to have the Indians' name for one more year.
Yeah, that's what the local papers here were saying. They're going to still be the Indians next year, but 2022, they would have a new name by then. So I think...
And nothing Native American. So some people have suggested calling it the Cleveland Tribe. And I was like, how does that make it any better than the Indians? So they're going to be totally...
They'd be the Browns, the football, like the football
Spider. Team. I'm hearing the Spiders. They're going to go back to their original name. Cleveland Spiders.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I think it would probably do something with rock and roll because of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or something.
Yeah. Definitely not the Cleveland Steamers.
Yeah, that wouldn't work out. That'd be a bad look.
And we go back to football real quick. Carson Wentz doesn't want to be the backup in Philadelphia anymore. There's a guy that could be on the move for someone who wants a quarterback if the Eagles are into the guy that they got now, Hurts. And I think you're talking about Stafford. I think the Lions might hire Louis Riddick to be your GM. And the rumor is that wherever Louis Riddick goes, that Josh McDaniels is the head coach. So we'll see what you could get Patriots version 2 over there in Detroit and go to Patricia to Josh McDaniels. But we got a voicemail to play, and Matt, I'll let you decide while we're listening to Dub F if you want to come up with a terrible topic. Your choice. But let's hear from Dub F.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the one Florida should experience. Huh? Yeah, tune it up, Going out caroling tonight. The neighbors love when I go caroling. They really enjoy it a lot. They actually pay me to leave. That's the main thing. I sing, and they come out and they're like, look, if we just give you money while you leave, I'm like, sure, throw me a $5 and I'm gone. Easy way to make a couple bucks, buy a video game, you know what I mean? Then out front, sing a little tune. They come out, give me money, and away I go.
Because it's Christmas, Dub F gets
two. The early tradition, they love it. They love me! Yeah! All right, I'm just kidding. I don't care. Don't try to be Carol. Anybody wants to send cookies, I'll sit down and eat cookies. I'll judge your cookies and give you a rating. How's that? Yeah. I should be a cookie judger. Christmas cookie judger, Fred. I make Cookie Monster look weak. Yeah.
What the hell was that?
How's it going, guys? I checked in, last week. I think I missed or something. I don't know. It's busy time of the year, Busy. Yeah.
Playing all that Fortnite.
I don't know. I don't know. I can't bring much to the table because there isn't much to bring. I don't know. I mean, let me just say this. I think Cyberpunk can make the comeback. I think they just have to, dig in, say goodbye to the older systems, put their time and effort towards the newer systems. Let people know, look, if you're going to play this, you need no more powerful machine. Do it right. Release the patches. Get the game up and going. And I think it has promise, but it's just going to be a little bit. Gamers just have to, kind of weigh that out a little bit and Yes, I'm laughing at the people on Twitter who were saying I asked for a refund, I got my refund, and I lost my game somehow. What did you think they were going to do? Refund you the money and say, oh, the game's on us. Yeah, enjoy. That's not how it works. Anyway, wake up, America, wake up. Okay, that's all I have for negativity because it's the most wonderful time of the year. Yeah, a little Christmas caroling for you guys. Anyway, I'm just going to keep it short. Look, let me just say this to you guys. Merry Christmas. I hope you and your families have a great time. I hope you enjoy the day. Anybody listening, Merry Christmas to you. You know, if you're alone, you have family, whatever you got going on, Merry Christmas to everyone and everybody listening. However you celebrate it, however you look at it, enjoy it. Have fun. Enjoy yourselves. Stay safe. Stay strong. Drink a beer for old Fred. Arrivederci.
All right. Happy holidays to you, Fred, and everybody listening as well. Thank you for calling in. Enthusiastic as always. And remind me, my wife made some incredible cookies tonight. I can't wait to have one after I'm done here.
Incredible.
Is that a euphemism?
That's later. That's the after show on YouTube. But I will have a
after show on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, shit, they already banned me for that.
Mahoney night moves.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
Mahoney night moves.
Yeah, a lot of people can say a lot of things about 2020, how it wasn't a great year. It's been a great year for sex for me. I've had more sex in 2020 than I think I've had in any other year.
Can your wife say the same?
Matt, he put some zingers in there, bro.
What? Fuck.
I gotta give.
Jealous is a hell of an ugly look on you, Matt.
Look, I gotta give John or whatever Lynn is taking. Jeez.
Well, apparently that's Mike.
I'll tell you what she's taking.
What is it?
This guy.
Well, John ain't getting none of that.
I tried.
The advanced spark plug actually is not that difficult.
It's not that difficult.
Oh boy, it's a hell of a segue, Matt. Right into terrible topics if you have one.
Might be women of the night walking around, broadcasting out their anuses. Like 70s Harry.
Oh, nice.
Oh, look at that. Burn it up. I'm right down in the fucking bed. Adult toys, sex crime or sexual assault, vaginas. Jesus fucking Christ.
All right, who's got the GPS on the rub and tug?
Now, Carol didn't say anything about that at Thanksgiving. There's a hell of
I cut her off.
There's a hell of a theme song you guys got.
Vaginas. All right, gentlemen. All right, choose one of the following. Wedding. G. Sunbathing. Rick James. Wedding. G. Sunbathing. Rick James.
I don't know about you, Eric, but I perked up when I heard sunbathing.
Let's do sunbathing.
You open up.
I want Rick James.
Well, that's a teaser for next week then. Because that's a good one too. Oh shit! Hold on. All right, no one's. All right, here we go.
Rick James.
It says here. Model claims sunbathing vagina for 2 hours a day, but boosted her libido. Sunshine.
That's what Johnny needs. That's just what Johnny needs.
Just get some lamps. Just get some lamps in the house, Eric.
Doesn't
even have to go outside. You can just sit in front of.
Just get a flashlight. Just shine on it.
Get some of those streaming lights. You kill two birds with one stone. While you're at work, you can use the lamps, and then when you get home, you just put them back in the basement.
Yeah,
and she'd be ready to go.
It says here, sunshine, lollipops, and libidos. A Brazilian model claims that she increases her sex drive with a little afternoon delight by way of sunning her vagina. Nothing better than a morning sun. 23-year-old. Okay, here's a name.
Okay, there
Letitia
you go.
Martins, who goes by Luna LeBlanc, captioned a nude Instagram post of herself this week in which she displays her naked body, legs
Eric's probably
spread.
following her.
Probably. Probably knows her. It says here, did you know that exposing your private parts to the sun can provide you with more energy, increase your libido, improve circadian rhythm, which regulates the entire function of the human body, and still helps you get a good night's sleep? The beginning influencer continued in Portuguese, ending the post with a question to her 14,400 followers. The majority of comments on the photo, which has racked up more than 1,200 likes since being posted, are mostly fire and heart emojis and comments on Martin's body, with a few stragglers wanting that the sun's dangers, including its cancer-causing abilities. It says that if you want to upload more juicy content, do it, but don't mess with practices that can be fatal. Several studies have linked vitamin D to sex drive changes, although Martins doesn't cite any scientific backing for pointing your genitalia at the sky. Last year, wellness influencers were gripped by another new trend involving pointing one's and other regions at the sky. Perineum sunning. We missed that one. Medical experts, however, were quick to dismiss its benefits. There is no evidence that sunbathing in this way has any effect on physical well-being. But in the meantime, this chick, she's sunning her vagina right there in the sun there, man, just letting them rays hitting it.
Now we know what Barb's getting for Christmas. Skylights in the bathroom. Just let that sun come right in.
Dude, I got a fucking shop light out in the garage. I'll just hang up and just kind of, here we go. I got a shop light. I'll hang up and put out there.
Classy. She wants a nice skylight. She wants a nice skylight. Matt's like, here, I got this fucking grease monkey fucking light that I use when I'm underneath the car.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Shine it on your butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mirrors. Why there mirrors and lights everywhere in our room now? You need that vitamin D, baby. You need that vitamin D.
Open up. Turn the lights on.
Matt just goes down there with the fucking headlamp on like a miner.
Yeah, with the
Why are you cosplaying as a miner every other night? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it, baby. It's fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. It's all good.
You're going in that black hole.
Yeah. Going fishing.
Jeez. That's why I wish I had Howard Stern on the fucking soundboard right now. A hell of a thing, Matt.
It is a hell of a thing. That was a terrible topic if I don't say so myself.
Sun's out. Tongues out, sun's out.
Sun's out, tongues out. Oh, yeah. I like that. I like that saying. I remember that one.
Yeah. Now, could you guys be outside? Could you guys, like, if you guys decided to go on the back deck, a nice sunny day, and do some nude sunbathing, would your neighbors be able to see you? Do you have neighbors like that at that viewing angle?
We could not do that in our backyard.
No, not on your back porch or deck.
No, the farm's another story.
You could do it on mine.
Yeah. Oh, Eric, I saw John posted a picture the other day of what she wants the backyard to look like.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, invest. You might have to return those televisions.
Yeah,
I'm not. And and we probably will do something like, because I told you we get in the pool next year, right? It'll probably be something close to that.
You're getting a pool?
Yeah.
Yeah. So after you've seen those 2 8K TVs, you need to cool yourself off. Just go right, you and your Speedo, right to the fucking pool.
Yep. Well, I ain't gonna have no kids living at home, so scrap the Speedo. Be butt naked.
Just don't mind those Akitas nipping at your ball sack. Don't worry about them. They can't swim. Once you get in the water, you're safe.
Yeah. Cannonball to the pool.
Oh no. Oh no.
No, you're gonna have to live stream some of this stuff, Eric.
Yes, please do.
I want a box open the pool.
I don't want to live stream like when they put the floors in. I mean, but that's not really exciting. Like when it's like 8 Mexican guys putting the floors, and that's not really interesting. I don't guess.
So, I want to. You guys, let me know. We're gonna wrap this up here in just a minute, but
all right.
I'm ripping out a kitchen. We have we have an in-law suite in my house, right? So we're ripping out the kitchen. I'm not putting a new kitchen in, so it's just coming out. And picture the kitchen is like L-shaped, right? So the wall is an L. So I'm getting, on the longer portion of the L, I'm getting like 3 windows put in. And on the shorter part of the L, I'm getting 2 windows put in, right? And then the floor of the kitchen part is tile. That's all coming up. And they're going to put wood flooring down to match the other side of the in-law. That's got to get all sanded and matched up and, polyurethane and all that. Okay? And then I have 2 half baths that are back to each other. So there's a half bath, which is weird, in both kitchens. They don't make them like that anymore. Think about being at the kitchen table and someone's taking a shit, right? They don't put half bathrooms in kitchens anymore. So what they're doing is the
you're gonna knock that wall out.
Right. So the 2 half baths are going to come into one bathroom.
Yep.
And the door, I have a closet in where the OLED is, that living room area. There's a closet, and that will be the entryway into the bathroom, and then the other entryways will all be sealed up. And so, long story short, if you had to estimate how many months, I'm trying to talk to Lynn about this. We're trying to guesstimate how many months' work do you think this is going to be? I'm leaning around 3 to 4 months between them.
I'm leaning to 6.
6 months, huh?
Yeah.
I fucking hate contractors, man. I really hate contractors because it's not like just like one guy coming in. It's like all right, they'll demo it in a day, right? It will look like shit at the end of the first day, and then they'll do the floor, like rip the the jackhammers will come in to rip up the tile.
Yeah, a lot of that's going to be all kinds of licenses and all that stuff, right? For you.
Yeah, they got to get permits from the town.
Yeah, that's what a lot of it's going to come into too.
But yeah, I think the reason it gets delayed is because the plumber's got to come in one day, but he's on another job.
Yep.
You got to wait till he's done with that. The electrician is now waiting on the plumber to do his work.
Yeah.
I mean, I saying 8 in chat. You just said 6. I was hoping like 3 to 4. Matt's looking at me like, why can't this be done in 2 weeks?
That's exactly what I'm thinking. What's the hold up here? Let's go. I'm thinking 1 month, 1.5 months.
But just like you said, people are working on other stuff at the same time.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But no, I'm talking when you start, everyone's lined up. You got to make sure everyone's lined up at the time. They're ready to go. Okay, so when that happens, say it might be 3-4 months before everyone's lined up, but say February 1st, there ain't no reason for the work you just said is going to be done. That won't be done by end of February.
That's Matt's corporate mind coming out right now. You saw his face. Yeah, see, I was looking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pitching.
I mean, we've had buildings constructed faster than that shit.
Yeah, and that's not Massachusetts either. Everything is a fucking. You got to wait for the building inspector to come out. The town inspector, and
man.
If it's not up to code, or if these guys had a bad experience in the past, and 3 hands got to be greased. Yeah, I'm thinking 3 to 4 months myself.
6 to 8.
We should take bets.
Yeah.
That's going to be cost. That's going to be costly. You talk about my stuff. That's going to be costly doing all that, man.
Now that it would be costly. Yeah.
I think it's somewhere around 50, 60 grand.
I know my pool by itself costs what, 35, 40.
Yeah, well, I mean, the big issue here is the bathroom is the big kicker because they got to go into the walls and they got to see, the plumbing can always, but once they open up and expose those walls, then they really, sort of know what they're up against and things like that.
Yeah.
These guys do great work, though. I was at my neighbor's house, absolutely beautiful kitchen. They're doing a brewery for my neighbor right now, and it looks spectacular. So I know I got the right guys.
Well, that's promising.
It's a father and son, really. they live right in the next town over. Really great reputation. So, but I am prepared to ask them tomorrow when they come over to start doing the drawings. So, how long do you think this is going to take?
Yeah, get some, and hold them to it.
Yeah. Well, they got other jobs to do too. It doesn't benefit them to sit there and make it go on for 8 months. They got other projects they got to get onto and wrap up as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of wrapping things up, we're going to wrap this up. We will discuss off air at another time if we will be taking next weekend off for the holidays or if we'll be bored to tears because Christmas is on Friday. Who knows? Maybe we'll just need to get a lot of stuff off our chest and reconvene on Sunday. But we'll keep you posted on that. But other than that, Matt, why don't you go first? Shout-outs, plugs, holiday wishes.
Yeah, everybody in chat and all of our listeners, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. It's a great time of the year. It's my favorite time of the year for sure, even though there's a lot of shit going on. But thanks, everyone, for being involved. The show, coming here and chat and everything and having fun with us. That is the best part. So,
of waking up.
Is bad father figures in your cup on Monday morning at 9 a.m.
I says he has a date the Sunday after Christmas, and he's voting no show. So
there's no reason why he can't bring his date to the show.
I mean, we can gear the show towards dating. If we we won't make it awkward at all.
That is not a valid excuse.
And you can send, and Mike can send some of those like little clips of those sex scenes from Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, and he can play over and over again at the advanced plug. Is that difficult? So his date knows.
Yeah. And we can play that clip for him. Let his date hear it.
Can I see that at all?
Yeah. The first part of that, she's like a spider monkey coming off that table.
Yeah.
She looks really strange, but this part
I don't want to show that too much. I don't want to get fucking booted off fucking Twitch, but
yeah,
she got nice boobs.
The whole thing was I learned something from that.
What you learn, Matt? What you learn?
Well, I'll let you know if Bart goes along with it.
They do a lot of these. So they do a lot of these positions. The cowgirl girl on top positions, and then the girl rocks back. Like the girl's like on her back, and the guys every time the guy's like pulling her up. Okay.
Yeah. Get some of them going.
All right.
There you go.
Eric, how about you?
Hey man, thanks for everybody coming in the chat. Thanks for you guys doing the show, man. I might not be here, but I'm listening constantly.
Constantly, bro.
Right, do it constantly, bro. I'm always listening, and y'all crack me up, man. I'm gonna tell you what, y'all some funny cats, man. But that's all I got. Hope everybody has a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, all those good things, and that's it.
All right, very good. Yes, happy holidays to everybody, especially I, who's always here in chat. We can count on him every week, so we really appreciate that. I understand a little quiet this week. People got other shit to do around the holidays, so I won't hold it against you too long. But, we hope to see everybody back next week. If not, we will be back in 2021. Hard to believe we've done 145 of these now. But hey, can't get rid of us quite yet. So until then, what's that?
I remember show number 1.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk to you guys next week. Maybe next week. 146.
You want sex constantly.
All right, good night.